God it's Friday. Monday's a brand new start. Wednesday, you're halfway home, and Thursday, the weekend's not far. Saturday and Sunday, you hang with your friends. What can you say about Tuesday? Nothing, not a damn thing. Tuesday bites, Tuesday sucks, Tuesday blows, go away. Tuesday's crap, Tuesday's lame, Tuesday's dumb, go away. Tuesday, Saturday and Sunday, you hang with your friends. What can you say about Tuesday?
Nothing except it rained during the overnight, and it looks like some places got some pretty severe weather and lost power.
Some branches were down in my neighborhood, and we have a coworker who just said, I'm having trouble getting out of my driveway. There's a tree down. I'll be in as soon as I can. So I think definitely there was some impact from that.
Yeah, not everywhere, but in certain places, the storms were pretty severe. We've got some clouds and a high of 87 today. I thought it was going to be
still warm, still
thought it was going to be cooler, but tomorrow looks like the one. 78 with some clouds in the forecast. 79 on Thursday with some sunshine. Up near 80 again on Friday with some sunshine in the forecast. So I thought today was going to be much cooler, but maybe I'll wait one more day to mow that lawn.
Yeah, they're saying some of those peak winds last night on the overnight up to 60 miles an hour. So that led to reports of wind damage with trees and limbs across some of the counties, some power outages as well. And then some clouds and warm again today, but things are changing on the horizon, it looks like.
Grant Bills of the Wisco Sports Show going to join us just after 8 o'clock. We'll be talking Brew Crew baseball. We'll be talking Packer training camp and all sorts of other stuff. We'll let you know what's new on New Release Tuesday. Going to talk about being creative when it comes to describing things that aren't necessarily very creative.
Trying to make something flashy that isn't? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, trying to little puffery, right? And, of course, if you want to join the program, you can do so by texting us. Go to rockmornings.com for all of our contact info. You can find our email address, our social media links, all that stuff. You can also download the 95.7 The Rock app or the 92.9 The X app, and you can use the app to get in touch with us with voicemails and pictures and videos. Yeah, be cool to hear from you. rockmornings.com for all the info, or download those two apps and get in touch with us this morning. We've got music in a bit from Five Finger Death Punch and Seven Dust.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene on your rock station.
A lacrosse organization trying to raise money to purchase more cameras to put in downtown La Crosse and use along the riverfront. We obviously just had a very tragic event with a young lady who ended up in the river and dying. Elliot Hines last week, about 3 in the morning on Sunday, went missing. And sadly, a story we know all too well in our community, and plenty of river communities know this tragedy, where young college-age students end up in the river and don't make it. She was found, thankfully, and some closure there for the family. But now, the La Crosse City Vision Foundation collecting money for its Safe Cam Phase 2 project. It continues the work that was begun to place cameras around the downtown and river areas so police can solve crimes. In the first phase, they helped to create a network of now 90 cameras that are already in downtown La Crosse. Now they want to add some more. Obviously, we've had plenty of violent incidents as well. We had several shootings in downtown La Crosse. We've had, obviously, the river stuff go on. So,
an expansion of a program that already exists to cover areas that are left without any coverage, basically.
We'd like to have more down there. It just would make a difference. It's not going to stop someone from going in the water. I wish we could find the reason for that. That's out of our hands. All we can do is provide cameras. Their goal is to raise $50,000 for the additional cameras. You can obviously Google the La Crosse City Vision Foundation if you want to find out more and donate. But yeah, I mean, we had that program for a while, the Riverwatch program. Is that still a thing during school?
During school.
But only on the weekends, on Fridays and Saturdays?
I think it's Thursday through Sunday. Okay. They're Thursday through Saturdays.
And it's just Riverside Park.
Right. And you've got, obviously,
a million miles of shoreline there. So, yeah, it is nice that there's something, and you can't put a fence up, around the entire river, obviously, but
I understand their thought process and passion for providing that coverage in areas that are left without anything.
A man in Eau Claire is facing several charges relating to child pornography. Yesterday, 27-year-old Leslie Allen Witt of Eau Claire charged with 5 counts of possession of child pornography. According to the criminal complaint, the detectives with the Eau Claire Police Department received a cyber tip last year from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. They said that a user uploaded suspected child pornography to another use via private chat message. Document went on to say that earlier in July, detectives also found a video and several sexual images of prepubescent girls on this guy's cell phone. Witt later denied the allegations in an interview with law enforcement. SIG bond set for $1,000, scheduled to return to court August 12th. The bear attack that happened in Comstock is over. They called off the search for the bear. They can't seem to find it. Efforts to locate the bear that mauled a woman near the town of Comstock, Wisconsin, a couple of weeks ago have been called off. The DNR said in a statement yesterday that the agency, along with the Barron County Sheriff's Office and federal wildlife agents, have concluded attempts to find and trap the female bear near Comstock. Team members set and monitored a series of traps and game cameras. No sign of the mother bear or the cub they believe was hers. After 2 weeks of round-the-clock surveillance on the property and no additional signs of the sow involved, our current options are exhausted, said Randy Johnson, a large carnivore specialist with the DNR. We've trapped and released 2 boar male black bears, 2 yearling bears, and 2 sows determined to be unrelated to the incident. So they did get a couple, but yeah,
it sounds like she left town with her baby. She got out of there and is living somewhere else and not a problem to that community.
Karen Fry, who was attacked by the bear in her backyard 2 weeks ago, is in stable condition, still recovering from the bear attack. With the trapping efforts over, DNR field agents and local law enforcement will continue to monitor the area in case that bear does return. Wisconsin's Democratic Secretary of State, Sarah Godlewski, not going to run for governor or for a full term in her current position, but she is considering running for lieutenant governor next year. Obviously, we've got some things that are going to be shifting around as the current governor, Tony Evers, said that he will not seek a third term. Godlewski, one of several Democrats mentioned as a possible contender, but on Monday, she made it clear she is instead looking to run for the state's number 2 role instead of being the governor or the secretary of state. She wants to be the lieutenant governor. And obviously, the current lieutenant governor, Sarah Rodriguez, said she's going to run to be governor in 2026, so that position will be available. Tragedy in New York City. Not sure if you saw it. Security video showing the gunman killed multiple people at an office building in Midtown Manhattan, entering the lobby, immediately opening fire, striking several people. He then shot a security guard, taking cover behind a desk with some sort of a rifle. The gunman, identified as Shane Tamura, then waited for an elevator and allowed a woman to exit unharmed before going to the 33rd floor.
You're kidding.
He then shot and killed another person before shooting himself. Tamura, who was licensed to carry a concealed weapon in the state of Nevada, killed 4 people and wounded another. 5 people killed, including a police officer, when a gunman unleashed a barrage of gunfire in a Midtown Manhattan office building yesterday that is home to the Blackstone investment firm and the headquarters for the NFL as well. And New York City Mayor Eric Adams said the shooter was neutralized at the scene, obviously taking his own life. New York Police Department clearing each and every floor in the massive tower to ensure everyone was safe and there were no other shooters.
I suppose it's way too early to say, were these targeted individuals? Because he obviously let a woman get on the elevator.
I'm sure we'll
unharmed.
find out. Well, look, you don't go into a building like that without knowing who's in there.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there was probably some sort of, Intent. Yeah. Financial firm Blackstone said it did lose one of their most beloved colleagues in the shooting. As everyone knows, an active shooter entered 345 Park this evening, resulted in multiple deaths, including taking his own life. We know we lost one of our most beloved colleagues, whose identity we are withholding for now out of respect for the family. 4 other people killed, including a New York City Police Department officer during the attack. The building targeted by the shooter is home to Blackstone and also the headquarters for the NFL. Yeah, and there's video and pictures of him walking around with the gun in his hand and just... Ugh. Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Again, you can get in touch with us by visiting our website, rockmornings.com, or downloading the 92.9 The X app or the 95.7 The Rock app. You can send us videos and voicemails.
Voicemails would be great. Let us know what you're thinking.
Images. We got an image yesterday from Brandon, a picture of his dog. Thank you, Brandon. Very nice of you. Right now, it's Five Finger Death Punch with Maria Brink. They did not get together and perform the song at Rockfest, even though they were there on the same.
Shocking.
My guess is that these, we look at it from a different lens, right? We see the two bands on the thing, and we're like, oh, they got a song that just came out. They're going to do it together.
Yes.
My guess is a lot of times they don't even know that they're in the same city. You know what I mean? They just show up. They're like, I don't even know where we are, right? The band gets off the bus like, where are we? And that's why they got to write it on the speakers. You know what I mean? On the monitors on the stage, like, hello, Wisconsin. You know, like... You would think that they would do, it was the same with Poppy and Bad Omens. They were on the same day, and they both did a version of Violence Against Nature, but they didn't do it together. It was kind of weird. So, anyways, here they are now. It's Five Finger Death Punch and Maria Brink, I Refuse.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com.
The one, the only, the Seven Dust, that is Black on Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. 110% every single time.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been to, and I've seen them a dozen, 15.
They never just...
I've never seen them mail it in. Never. Not once. In all the years that I've seen Seven Dust, from, way back on, Ozfest stages, to
they're always amazing.
The small clubs
and
the big stages, it's just, yeah. Doesn't matter if it's the middle of the day, 11:30 at night, they're just kicking ass and taking names. It's Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Andrew Vaughn, Sal Frelick, and Christian Yelich all homered for the Brewers, and they overcame a shaky start from Jacob Mizorowski, the Miz, to beat the Cubs last night 8-4. They take sole possession of first place in the NL Central.
Trevor McGill into this ballgame, Rock, with a 4-run lead. He faces Seiya Suzuki with Crow Armstrong on deck. And the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 101 at the top of the zone. McGill slams the door, and the Brewers take game one in this 3-game series.
Same two teams tonight, 6:40 first pitch as the Brewers try to extend their lead in the NL Central with another win over the Cubbies. Fly the L. Chicago, fly the L. Hard to tap dance on the Cubs right now because obviously Ryne Sandberg, a Hall of Fame second baseman who became one of baseball's best all-around players while starring for the Cubs, died yesterday at the age of 65, surrounded by his family when he died at his home, according to the team. Sandberg announced back in January of last year that he had been diagnosed with metastatic prostate cancer, had chemo and radiation treatments, then said in August of last year that he was cancer-free, but he posted on Instagram in December, just a few months later, that his cancer had returned and spread to other organs. Announced this month, earlier in July, that he was still fighting while looking forward to making the most of every day with my loving family and friends. Ryne Sandberg, all-time Cubby, dead at the age of 65.
Ryne Sandberg, the all-time leader. 480 chances, airless for Sandberg.
There it is, way back, a record-breaking home run! Ryne Sandberg! He has now hit more home runs than any second baseman in history. How about that?
The reason I am here, they tell me, is that I played the game a certain way, that I played the game the way it was supposed to be played. It is because of one word: respect. Thank you, and go Cubs.
Ryne Sandberg dead at the age of 65. University of Colorado football coach Deion Sanders announced yesterday that he had undergone surgery to remove his bladder. After doctors discovered a tumor there, Sanders said that since his surgery, there are no traces of cancer, and he'll continue to coach this season. But he basically kind of disappeared, didn't really give any info on his health situation, said that he was dealing with something, and apparently it was pretty serious.
Wow.
Had his bladder removed after they found a tumor in his bladder. And last but not least, Bryce Harper, star for the Philadelphia Phillies, apparently standing nose to nose with the MLB commissioner, Rob Manfred, during a meeting between the Major League Baseball commissioner and the team last week. I don't know if you'd call it a meeting. He told the commissioner to get the F out of our clubhouse, right to his face. God, you love it. You love it. You just, thank you.
So they have beef, obviously.
Yeah, he basically, like, Manfred's going around and talking to teams about a potential salary cap, right? The MLB wants to implement a salary cap.
Yeah.
And Bryce Harper's like, nah, dude, we're not doing that in here. Get the F out of my clubhouse. Yeah. He basically told him to hit the streets, hit the bricks if he wanted to talk about a potential implementation of a salary cap. The confrontation came in a meeting, one of the 30 that Rob Manfred conducts annually in an effort to improve his relations with every team's players. Lasted more than an hour. Manfred never explicitly said the words salary cap, according to sources. The discussion about the game's economics, however, got Bryce Harper pretty pissed off, and he's one of MLB's most influential players as a two-time National League MVP. And he's heated,
he's hot about this.
He's got the gall to say that right to Manfred's stupid face. He's not his boss, the owner of the team and the manager and all that is. Manfred's just, the guy in charge of the league or whatever. But yeah,
get out of here.
Yeah.
Take your clipboard and go.
Oh, can you imagine being there? Seeing that? That would have been great. Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. We'll get to some Falling in Reverse and some Seether. If you need something, you can get in touch with us by visiting rockmornings.com.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene on your rock station.
Tell me, do you know what day it is?
Why, yes, as a matter of fact, I do.
And do you love lasagna like me?
Oh, yes, I do.
You want some lasagna?
I'm making you lasagna.
Why is that?
It's actually National Lasagna Day.
It's National Lasagna Day.
You had me at lasagna.
Lasagna. Just get the lasagna.
My lasagna!
Lasagna.
It's National Lasagna Day.
It's showtime.
National Lasagna Day. I'm really feeling lasagna in the middle of summer. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'll eat it if it's served. I wouldn't say no, but I'm not going to go through the process of making it in the middle of summer. It feels more like a fall, winter kind of thing.
I'll take lasagna any time of the year.
International Tiger Day as well. National Lipstick Day. National Wing Day. We'll talk about some specials on wings.
I'm sure of it.
A bit later on. But today is National Lasagna Day. Got some, had a pork loin last night. Got some sweet corn from the truck. Much better than the stuff that was in the stores. Yeah, it's getting there. It's real close to being perfect. So, yeah, we stopped by the guy. We were getting groceries on what was it, Saturday? And I said, why don't we get some corn from the guy across the street or whatever? And she's like, yeah. So we went over there and 2 tomatoes, a cucumber, and 5 ears of corn. It was $5.
Right. And you're like, why am I gardening when I could just buy all of this from this guy for
exactly.
$5?
He's like, and I said, I only really need about 4 ears of corn. He's like, well, here's 17 for you. You know what I mean? It's like the corn guy's always like that. It's like, look, dude, it's just the two of us. I don't know how many days we're going to be eating corn at home. Well, here's 40 ears of corn. $2.
Make some dip, some corn dip.
I know. I know. It's a thing. CNBC's Jim Cramer. I don't know if you saw this, but Jim Cramer on CNBC. You might not. You'd recognize him if you saw him.
Okay.
Dropped an F-bomb live on air yesterday, Gene. Sounds like somebody I know. Followed it with the Lord's name in vain. Happened on Squawk on the Street with David Faber and Carl Quintanilla. They laughed it off. Jim quickly apologizing, feared for the worst. They were discussing the U.S. and EU trade deal. And this guy just right up in the middle of it.
Our biggest problem is we have so much growth that the Fed won't cut.
What the
Oh my God. I'm so sorry. I take it right back.
Everybody,
take it right back.
It's okay. We're in the moment.
Take it right back.
It's just the way
I take it right back. That was bad.
It's cable with a ticker, as Doug Kernan would say.
I take that back.
That's right.
Real people doing live TV.
No.
Jim, though, to your point,
take it back.
Goldman today, the most notable change.
Take back.
No, you're fine. You're absolutely
Goldman
fine.
Today, the most notable.
You want me to say one?
No, I just feel like enough with the rate cut and the economy's booming.
Let Carl talk now.
You want me to say one?
I could up it a little bit here.
Kramer further apologizing on his Twitter, saying, I apologize to all the viewers. I was too effusive in making my point about the great economy we have. Reminds me of somebody I know.
Everybody needs to stop being so damn angry about everything. I swear to God. I saw a person the other day driving and just having a complete meltdown because somebody wasn't turning fast enough, right? I understand that things aggravate you and everybody's in a damn hurry, but freaking out and flipping people off and screaming obscenities and beeping your horn because you can't get to where you need to go in this world 5 seconds faster is out of freaking hand, man. Calm the F down. We're all sharing this
Morning sickness, Brian and Gene. Yeah, there she is.
Yeah.
There
I
she
was getting
is,
heated.
the girl with the potty mouth.
See, I could understand. He was getting heated in his comments.
Again, I love to reference that because you can hear Gene warming it up.
Yeah.
She's sitting on it like a chicken on an egg.
Right.
She's got that F-bomb all wrapped up tight in a ball underneath her cheeks. And she's dropping the dams and the Fs and all that stuff as she warms up.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, pow!
I will have to say,
an explosion of flavor as the F-bomb makes its way onto the airs.
I will have to say that guy has true partners that are willing to, like, jump on the grenade as well. You want me to say one? You want me to take the grenade too? Did I hear you offering to do anything? No.
I'm not.
No, you just silently just looked at me with your eyes big and wide and your mouth agape. And then you were like, okay, well, back to regular programming here. I didn't hear you jump on a grenade for your partner.
I'm not saving you.
Just this wide-eyed staring at me look.
That was great. America's Got Talent auditions continue tonight on NBC. The first season finale of Destination X after America's Got Talent. Over on Netflix today, a new stand-up special from Dusty Slay. It's called Wet Heat.
I checked into this hotel the other day, and they gave me a little sheet of paper. It was instructions on how to check out faster. I was like, oh, okay, well, let me ask you this. What's faster than just leaving? I didn't even realize there was a checkout process. Just felt like you see me leave here with all these bags. You get up into that room, and I'm not in there. You know I've checked out.
Dusty Slay Wet Heat trailer right there. Wet Heat on Netflix today if you want to watch that. Also on Netflix today, the series premiere of WWE Unreal.
Physically, how are you after
Terrible. But my legs work, my spine is not hurt, my neck is not hurt, and I don't have a concussion. So those are my prerequisites for not complaining.
For people that think, isn't that just a bunch of guys pretending to fight? When you see the behind the scenes, I don't know how you can't fall in love with the business.
Yeah, I want to make sure it makes some noise, so it's going to be kind of thick.
Oh, my goodness! This was the biggest show of the year. I'm, like, freaking out, and then as soon as my music plays, I'm Rhea Ripley.
For the first time ever, we're going to show you how the story unfolded.
Creating interest for the fans. That's what it's all about.
WWE Unreal, the series premiere on Netflix today, a behind-the-scenes docu-series about the show's production, including the writer's room, and they also visit some of the stars in their homes. Over on Hulu today, the series premiere of Dope Girls. After World War I, a group of women seized the opportunity to take over London's emerging nightclub scene.
After the war, everything changed. Especially me.
You want to open a nightclub?
We have an opportunity here. Let's run this club and double our profit. I saw how much that place was making.
Money, 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 money.
Dope Girls on Hulu. Okay. Fallon is new tonight with Sam Rockwell and Allison Brie. Kimmel's in a rerun. Colbert's new with Jamie Lee Curtis. She's coming out in a new movie, Freakier Friday. Her and Lindsay Lohan back again. And Seth Meyers is new tonight with Taron Egerton and Tim Herlihy. It's also new release Tuesday. If you want to stop and grab a DVD. Thunderbolts.
Really? Okay.
MCU.
Lena means a hero. There is no higher calling. Your sister understood something about that.
I should have come back for you.
No. That's just a fairy tale.
I was in high school when the Avengers came. Kind of strange that it's all over now. No one's coming to save the day.
Thunderbolts, rated PG-13. Florence Pugh, Sebastian Stan, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, David Harbour, Olga Kurylenko. After they find themselves ensnared in a death trap, an unconventional team of anti-heroes must go on a dangerous mission that will force them to confront the darkest corners of their pasts. Also new on New Release Tuesday, The Phoenician Scheme, rated PG-13. This is the Wes Anderson movie with Michael Cera, Tom Hanks, Bryan Cranston, ScarJo, Willem Dafoe, Benicio del Toro, Bill Murray.
At this moment, rescue workers are laboring to recover and identify the remains of Zsa Korda, international businessman, maverick in the fields of armaments and aviation, among the richest men in Europe. This was Korda's 6th recorded airplane crash. He is survived by 10 children, 9 boys, 1 nun, his daughter Liesl.
I've appointed you sole heir to my estate, which you may come into sooner rather than later.
Why? It's been 6 years since our last meeting.
I have my reasons.
Which are what?
My reasons? I'm not saying.
The Phoenician Scheme, new on DVD today for New Release Tuesday. Also, Jane Austen Wrecked My Life. It's rated R, doesn't star anybody you've ever really heard of. It's a desperately single bookseller lost in a fantasy world who finds herself forced to fulfill her dreams of becoming a writer in order to stop messing up her love life. No thanks.
No thanks.
No thanks.
Did watch Happy Gilmore 2 this week.
I haven't watched yet. Don't give anything away. I heard it's really good from some people, then I heard some people say it sucks. So we'll see.
Also watched, I realized that this was released years and years ago already, but I watched Rocket Man on the plane, which is the Elton John. I really liked it. Yeah. I mean, I know some people didn't because it had like some musical pieces in it, songs that were done, but they were always at really important moments of his life, so it was kind of transitional to what was happening. I really enjoyed it.
What's new on New Release Tuesday? What's happening on the Boob Tube tonight? We've got the Foo Fighters now and some Living Colour coming up.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com.
Living Colour with Cult of Personality on Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Love to see these stories about kids overcoming the odds when it comes to medical issues.
Sure, yeah.
There's a kid out there. His name is Dalton D. McKelly.
He's a Superman, is what you're saying?
D. Michelli, I think. He's an 8-year-old kid, and he's a Arizona Diamondbacks super fan. And the team treated this kid to an unforgettable night where he met a couple of the players, including his favorite, Corbin Carroll.
So his heroes, kind of, huh?
Dalton enduring multiple surgeries after being born with a congenital heart defect. The team heard about him when a TikTok of him went viral, catching a game while on the plane with his family. The video of him watching the game on the plane with his family goes viral. The Diamondbacks found out about it, and they did something about it.
It meant the world to me. I thought he was going to be standing there maybe with a ball and a pen and that they would sign and then be on their merry ways, but he spent quality time with these guys.
Just to be able to do something special for him, it meant a lot. It was a great reminder of kind of the power that we can have as athletes and the lives that we can touch.
Those guys really have hearts of gold, and I just want to thank them over and over again. They couldn't have made it a more perfect day for Dalton.
Yeah, he got, the red carpet rolled out for him. If you watch the video of his time at the ballpark with the Diamondbacks, you'll see that they pulled out all the stops to make it a very special night for Dalton. So pretty cool to see that. And speaking of kids who overcome incredible odds, the world's most premature baby.
How many weeks?
Has now defied all the medical odds to reach his first birthday. Nash Keene was born on July 5th last year in Iowa, 133 days early at just 21 weeks gestation. Weighed 10 ounces at birth, less than a grapefruit, was 24 centimeters long. I mean,
I know what 21 weeks is very unbelievable.
After 6 months in the hospital, he was able to go home in January. He will continue to be monitored for ongoing health issues, including a minor heart defect. Nash, still on oxygen, uses a feeding tube and wears hearing aids, but able to go home with mom and dad 1 year after being born extremely premature. Again, the world's most premature baby.
I kind of felt numb almost. I didn't think he was going to make it because he was just so young, but we were so hopeful that, we made it to the 21 weeks, and we just wanted to give Nash a chance. Dr. McNamara was the on-call doctor that week, and I just remember him being very honest with us and upfront saying, this is very touch and go, minute by minute. He's so chill. His smile literally lights up a room. Like, he's just so happy all the time.
Mom and Dad there, Molly and Randall, welcoming their son Nash Keene on July 5th of last year, born 133 days early. Guinness World Records has officially recognized Nash as the world's most premature baby to survive. Earlier this month, Nash, who has been nicknamed Nash Potato, turned 1 year old.
This guy, Nash.
Yeah. Would you like some Nash potatoes? Born at the University of Iowa Healthcare, Stead Family Children's Hospital, 10 ounces at birth, 24 centimeters long. The Keens lost a baby girl named McKinley at 18 weeks gestation 2 years before Nash was born. So obviously this whole birth thing has been a struggle for them since the jump. Mm-hmm. Molly diagnosed with an incompetent cervix, which is when the lower part of the cervix begins to open or dilate too early. Mm-hmm. Suffers from PCOS, polycystic ovary syndrome, a hormonal disease that can cause fertility difficulties. So these guys obviously struggling. Mm-hmm. Miracle baby here. Miracle baby.
Iowa.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Been home since January.
The picture of her with the baby on her chest when he's 4 weeks old. I mean, yeah, it's crazy.
Just turned a year old.
Just turned a year old.
Happy birthday, Nash.
Yeah. Nash Potato. Yeah. We'll get to some Spirit Box in a couple of minutes. We're going to talk about chicken wing deals for National Wing Day. Tommy want wingy.
Yeah, Tommy does.
All sorts of other stuff. Grant Bills is going to join us just after 8 a.m. as well.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Start your day with Rock Mornings.
As we heard earlier, National Lasagna Day, National Lipstick Day, and National Wing Day.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
What do you know about them wings?
I like mine a little spicy, dipped in the blue cheese or the ranch. I prefer the drummies over the wings.
The wings or the flats, as some people call them.
I mean, I like both, but I prefer.
I don't dislike wings, but it's not something I see on the menu and I'm like, I gotta have wings. I don't know why. I didn't really grow up eating wings. It's not I didn't go to a college and had to go eat wings on the cheap. It wasn't like a Wednesday night thing for me.
Well, and your flavor, you wouldn't necessarily enjoy a bunch of the flavors either.
I almost died eating wings about a month and a half, 2 months ago. Stupid boss and his stupid wings.
Yes.
Idiot. It's not that bad.
Wasn't that hot?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
B-Dubs, of course, offering up specials.
Sure.
For National Wing Day. They're giving customers 6 free wings, boneless or traditional, with an order of $10 or more. You can get the deal when you dine in or when you order online or in the B-Dubs app using the promo code FREEWINGS. Among your options, the honey garlic sauce, which has become a permanent part of the menu. Popeyes has 3 ways you can enjoy your National Chicken Wing Day festivities. You can extend it through Sunday the 3rd. When you order in stores with any purchase of a 6-piece bone-in wing, you get a free 6-piece order. Members of the Popeyes Rewards Loyalty Program get a free 6-piece order of spicy bone-in wings with any wings ordered online or in the Popeyes app. You can also get a buy one, get one free deal on 6-piece orders of bone-in or boneless wings when you order from delivery services like DoorDash or Uber Eats.
Got it.
That's at participating restaurants and only good through the 4th of August.
Of those.
Wingstop. 5 free wings with a qualifying chicken purchase, such as an order of classic or boneless wings, tenders, or a chicken sandwich.
Never been to a Wingstop.
Me neither. You can get the deal by ordering for carryout or delivery on the Wingstop website or in the app. Mm-hmm. Use the promo code FREEWINGS. 7-Eleven has got a free wing deal. Apparently, members of the 7 Rewards and Speedy Rewards loyalty programs have a pair of buy one, get one deals today. When you buy an 8-piece order of boneless wings, you get 8 free, or buy 5 bone-in wings and get 5 free. Applebee's online deal for National Chicken Wing Day. You buy one to-go order of their boneless wings or their classic bone-in wings, you get another for free. Orders must be placed through the Applebee's website or their mobile app. Let's see. Hooters, if you can find one. On National Wing Day, you buy 10 wings today only, July 29th. You get 10 more free, any style, offer good for dine-in only. There's a whole bunch of other ones out there.
I'm sure.
Trying to see here. A lot of restaurants that we don't have in our area. Chains that are mostly out west, but National Wing Day. Lots of different deals out there if you want to save money on wings.
Mm-hmm. Maybe your favorite ones at your local restaurant.
Yeah. Check out your local restaurant, see if they've got a special for Wing Day.
If they don't have a special, even just enjoy them because they're delicious.
Yes.
Tell me likey. Tell me want wingy.
Tell me want wingy.
Me too.
Sports coming up in just a couple of minutes. First, Spirit Box.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find the daily podcast at rockmornings.com.
Spirit Box, Perfect Soul, Rock Mornings, Brian and Gene. The Brew Crew with a nice win over the Cubs last night. 8-4. They are now in sole possession of first place in the NL Central. Same two teams tonight at 6:40. Speaking of the Cubs, one of their all-time greats, Ryan Sandberg, passing away yesterday at the age of 65, surrounded by his family, dying at his home. Had announced back in January of last year that he was diagnosed with metastatic prostate cancer. Did the chemo radiation thing, then said in August of last year that he was cancer-free, but posted on Instagram in early December, that the cancer had returned and spread to other organs. Earlier this month, he announced that he was still fighting, but unfortunately, it looks like that took his life at the age of 65. Cleveland Guardians closer Emmanuel Clase placed on the non-disciplinary paid leave as part of MLB's sports betting investigation. Clase is now the second Guardians pitcher who's on leave tied to the investigation, joining right-hander Luis Ortiz. Clase's leave is through the end of August, according to a statement from Major League Baseball. Not good. Speaking of baseball, more than 85,000 tickets have sold for the MLB Speedway Classic between the Reds and the Braves at Bristol Motor Speedway.
They're playing at a racetrack?
Yeah. Have you seen this thing? Yeah, it's pretty cool, actually. It looks pretty neat. It'll break Major League Baseball's single-game attendance record. Saturday night's nationally televised game will be the first MLB game ever played in Tennessee. The current record for paid attendance is 84,587, which was set on September 12th of 1954, a doubleheader at Cleveland Stadium between Cleveland and the Yankees. Fans from all 50 states and a whole bunch of countries and 4 different continents have purchased tickets for the game. Hall of Famers representing both teams, including Chipper Jones for the Braves and Johnny Bench for the Reds, will throw out ceremonial first pitches.
Okay. So I'm looking at this. There's all sorts of stuff going on surrounding it as well, right?
Well,
so
yeah,
there's local performances from Jake Owen and a bunch of country artists and a Ferris wheel and food trucks and pitching tunnels and batting cages. So there's a whole legacy walk, and Clydesdales are going to be there.
It just goes to show you how big some of these speedways are, though. You know what I mean? Like, you look at the track and you watch a NASCAR race and you're like, yeah, it doesn't, it's big, but then you look at it and you're like, oh, they could put an MLB stadium inside the infield.
Yeah. Fan zone there, too.
Yeah.
It looks like it's going to be quite impressive.
Pretty neat. If you haven't seen it.
I had not until right now.
Sports on Rock Mornings. We'll talk to Grant Bills next hour, host of the Wisco Sports Show. Also got Bad News, Happy Music coming up. We'll get to our daily check-ins. If you've got something you need, you can find us online at rockmornings.com. You can also download the 95.7 The Rock app or the 92.9 The X app and get in touch with us that way with voicemails and images and videos. Submit stuff. We did get a message from someone who wanted to know if you went to the clothing optional bar.
I did not.
That we were talking about before you went on vacation.
Not. So it's a building and it's got 3 bars basically. There's a downstairs and then there's like a kind of one that's like a game room, pool tables and stuff, but it's got a wraparound balcony, so you're 2 floors up on Duval Street. and then the clothing optional is on the 3rd floor. I did go to the 2nd floor and sat out on the deck above Duval and kind of people watched for a little bit. But I wasn't going to go there alone, and I could not talk my husband. And he was like, bad naked, not into it, no thanks, don't want to go, not my jam. So I wasn't going to be by myself.
All right. Well,
you got to leave your phone and all that stuff in lockers, on the 2nd floor.
They don't want you up there taking pictures of people.
So me up there by myself feels real weird. Real weird.
You didn't want to go get a peek at what was going on
by myself? No, I wasn't going to just...
What was that movie with Eyes Wide Open?
Hello.
What was that with Nicole Kidman?
How are you doing? No pants? You got no pants on.
Guys up there just Donald ducking it?
Yeah, by myself. Wasn't really going to happen.
Hi, I'm Gene. How are you?
Yes,
Where's
nice
that handbag?
to meet you.
Where's
well, look at that. You are all just exposed, aren't you?
Quite bulgy.
You're just... Aren't you hot? You have to put some sunscreen on that.
Not wearing any clothes. Mammoth coming up in just a bit.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Weekdays, 6 to 9.
3 Days Grace with May Day on Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Those guys were good, man, at Rockfest. They were on point,
Yeah.
Two lead singers, and they're both out there. And we didn't know if they were going to be doing one song and then the other, and then if they were going to be sharing the stage. And then they brought another guy out, and it was just, it was a scene, man. 3 Days Grace. They were awesome. It's good to see them. Up next is Ashley for the Arts. It's next weekend, right? In Arcadia?
Yeah, not this weekend, but the following weekend, correct. I was just
looking
at that.
And they got, Third Eye Blind. Hootie's going to be there. Not Hootie and the Blowfish, but Darius Rucker.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
ZZ Top, Brad Paisley.
Daughtry,
Neon Trees. I think Boogie and the Yo-Yos.
Arch Allies.
Bunch of others are going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's next, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Plus, there's a ton of local school bands and stuff, I think, on one of the side stages.
Ton. They've got the amphitheater stage, they've got the side stage, they've got the pavilion stage. So there's lots of high school entertainment. There's lots of, like you mentioned, regional Pulsate, Boogie and the Yo-Yos, Rising Phoenix. There's lots of Arch Allies. There's lots of regional bands as well, plus, food and beverages and... The arts and craft fair and all of that stuff. Family fun.
We're going to go see Dayseeker with Ice Nine Kills and somebody else in Madison at the Sylvie, I think in October. I can't remember. My brain is like mush in the summertime when it comes to trying to remember when things are happening because there's so many things happening. But yeah, we got that planned, so looking forward to that.
Yep, Arcadia, 7th, 8th, and 9th, as you mentioned, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Ashley for the Arts, all right. New poll looking at the age requirements of various things. 16 to drive, 18 to vote, cigarettes,
21
drinking, all that
gambling.
Stuff. Found the majority of Americans would raise the driving age above 16. They want you to be older in order to get your license. Not by a lot. 52% of Americans say you should have to be older than 16 to be allowed to drive. Most Americans, 54%, also support a maximum driving age. This one is where I'm at. We were behind some lady on the way home, and it was like, couldn't see over the steering wheel, drifting in and out of lanes, total blue hair. And hey, look, dude, thanks for your service, but it's time to hang it up.
Life well lived.
You got to put them keys away, old lady.
Is it not? It's not age dependent. It's a skills dependent, right? Because we just talked about the 80-year-old guy who ran a marathon across the Mojave Desert, right? He's probably doing okay behind the wheel. Well, I think it doesn't necessarily. The age doesn't necessarily matter as much as it does where they're at.
I've said this forever. You go and you get your license at the age of 16, and unless you F up real bad,
you renew your license, and that's it.
You don't have to, there's no, class or anything that you got to take again later on in life. I mean, if your glasses change or whatever, you might have to get some, sort of thing on your license. You might have to get a new one every 10 years or whatever from the state.
You do.
But you don't have to take a test. You don't have to go in and, prove that you can still drive or that you know the rules of the road. And you know as well as I do, man, people just, things change and people change. And you're not the same person at the age 26 as you are at 16, and certainly not 86 to 16. So, I don't know. You see these old people driving around. They have no friggin' clue where they're going. They're driving well below the speed limit, and they're weaving in and out of lanes, and they can't see over the steering wheel. It's like, what are you doing, man?
Well, hopefully that's when their family and friends suggest some other opportunities.
Not this lady
for
we were
driving.
behind the other day. Jesus. Most Americans, again, in a poll, said 54% of people said they would support a maximum driving age. Now, I'm not saying you cap it.
I don't either.
Because, again, like you said, there's this guy out there running ultra marathons at the age of 85 or whatever it is.
Right.
So that guy probably could drive pretty well.
My
right?
mom did very, very well until it was time that she couldn't, and that was way well into her late 80s. But there might be somebody else that has challenges and difficulties and health things that make it difficult at 60.
But she took it into her own hands, right?
Well, with some suggestions from us, but she was doing fine up until,
right. 10% of people would make the cutoff 90 years old, 21% would make the cutoff 80, and 23% would pick a age younger than 80. And again, I think I think what you need to say is, like, after the age of 65, every 5 years you have to come in and you have to retake a driving test.
Well, and in my mom's case, right, she chose to no longer drive into Madison, for instance.
The big city.
Her thing was going to the grocery store. She'd go to the shoe store in town.
Yeah.
She went to, she'd stay on country roads.
Around Black Earth,
things that made
places she knew.
Yes, so she stopped driving in the city well before 87.
This poll didn't just look at driving ages, and I can understand why people would want kids to be older than 16. You're still very irresponsible at the age of 16. Your friends are a very bad influence on you, especially if you're the first one or the only one that's got the license in the car. Then all sorts of bad things are bound to happen.
Well, and you're very limited on who your passengers can be because they're also minors, and the insurance is out of hand until you're 20, well into your 20s.
And as we know all too well, the phone is basically grafted to the hand. And that can be a serious problem when you're a young person trying to learn how to drive.
But you also need that experience behind the wheel to become better at it. So I don't know if there's some sort of, solo driving experience where you can't have friends at all. You're limited now, but maybe you can drive at 16, but you can't really have people with you until you're 18. I don't know.
Americans also divided over the drinking age. 47% say it's cool as is at the age of 21. 41% think it should be younger than 21 or no minimum. Obviously, in Wisconsin, we've got some caveats to the rule. Like if you're out drinking with your parents or something like that, they can buy you a drink.
Only under 18.
And 12% of people said it should be older than 21. I think if you can vote and you can be in the military.
That's a real split, actually. That's a real split.
But I think if you can vote and you can be in the military.
It's been the argument forever.
Then you should be able to buy yourself a beer. The difference between 18 and 21 is not that great. It isn't.
I think it keeps it out of schools more likely, right?
Oh.
I mean, I think that's the,
Right. The idea is to, try to eliminate the high school kids from drinking, but good luck on that.
Well, and it's mandated by the feds. That's dependent on your road money from the government.
As for other age limits, America largely agrees with the current restrictions for R-rated movies, marriage, pornography, gambling, and voting. But around 10% of Americans think people should be older than 21 before they can get married, watch porn, or gamble legally. So not a huge swath of people, but somebody texted in and said you shouldn't be able to vote until you're 21 years old.
That's why there's differing numbers on all of those things, because everybody thinks differently.
Well, it's just tough because you tell kids, look, you're not an adult till you're 18. Then you can get kicked out and you got to live on your own. You're not my responsibility anymore. And you can vote and you can drive, but you can't drink.
You can go to the military. And this is a big
you can go into the military.
It's a big one, I think.
And
you could have already served 3 years for your country and come back and still can't have a beer. So,
I just got off the boat, man.
The irony of that is not lost on people.
But yeah, apparently Americans would like to raise the driving age and lower the drinking age.
Interesting.
I think we should cap the driving age.
Interesting discussion.
Or at least implement some sort of testing policy for older people. If you're 90-year-old Betsy and you're getting behind the wheel and you can't see over the goddamn thing.
Like I said, family and
friends.
It
was literally up here. I'm not kidding you. She was like this.
Well, and that's a terrible independence thing to discuss with people too.
And I get it. You want to go and get some avocados, whatever. But, lady, you got no business being behind the wheel right now. None whatsoever. Grant Bill's going to join us in just a bit. Talk Wisco sports. If you want to get in touch with us, you can find us online at rockmornings.com. You can also download the 95.7 The Rock app or the 92.9 The X app. And you can send in voicemails, images, videos. Let us know what you're up to. Also on the 95.7 The Rock or 92.9 The X app, you can find out more info about that Bob Uecker bus trip. We're taking one from Eau Claire, and we're taking one from the La Crosse area.
Man, that sounds like such a great celebration of his life.
And that's on August 24th. That bus trip includes your round-trip motor coach transportation, your ticket to the game, pregame tailgate party with food provided. And obviously there's going to be a lot of cool stuff going on in regards to Bob Uecker that day.
And the Brewers are having a hell of a season.
Yeah.
That'll be a fun game to be at.
Yeah. Right now it's Alien Ant Farm.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene, and each and every Tuesday we are joined on the phone at about 8:15 by Grant Bills, host of the Wisco Sports Show, which you can hear weekday afternoons from 4 until 6 on stations like WKTY in La Crosse and Sports Talk 105.1 in Eau Claire. Grant, how are you, sir?
I am excellent. Good morning to you and Gene both. Welcome back, Gene. I saw you were on a trip. Was that nice?
It was.
Nice.
It was. It was warm, but it was beautiful. It was Key West, Florida, sir.
We got a lot to get to, so not a lot of time for grab ass this week, Grant. Let's get into, first of all, Hulk Hogan passed away after I talked to you last week. What's your reaction to that? Do you have any sort of
a Hogan thing?
A Hogan thing, a connection at all?
I'm just not a wrestling fan. So obviously an icon and a legend, and I've seen him and been aware of him forever. I don't have those memories of like, oh, when I was little, I remember watching, this match or that match. So I'm definitely not the person to eulogize him or like poke holes in the person or the man that he was. Like everyone's got to do the thing. It's like, well, I have these memories of him as a wrestler, but also, he's problematic for these reasons. I don't really have any statements, good or bad, on him other than what a legend, and obviously a huge part of a sport that a lot of people love and follow and have for a long time.
Next up, really big news yesterday as a shooter in New York City went into an office building which contained the offices of the NFL and some other high-profile businesses, and apparently the news this morning is that he was targeting the NFL headquarters and was looking for specific people. This guy killed 4 people and then took his own life. Grant Bills, what do you know about this situation? I know there's a lot of news coming out right now. You said something about Diana Rossini said something?
Well, it's weird how this has been reported. I saw yesterday that, Schefter and Rossini and Florio were all tweeting about the shooting in New York. And it's not that that's not a big deal, but you just typically don't have a bunch of football people, very actively reporting on something like that. And then I realized it was Park Avenue right in front of the NFL. The wild thing that I was telling you about off the air before we started is I woke up and Diana Rossini, The Athletic, had a story out. And in her description of the story, she's like, not in the actual paywalled story, but the tweet that she posted, and I'm sure it was on Facebook and everywhere else too, and she's with The Athletic, very high-level NFL reporter, was like, yep, the shooter was targeting the NFL, whose offices are on the 14th, 15th, and 16th floor, and then Roger Goodell is on the 17th floor. It's like, maybe let's not put that information
Specific
out,
instructions on where to find them.
But what they're saying now is he was targeting the NFL, but he took the wrong elevator.
Yeah, and apparently he played college or football, high school football about 2 decades ago, had some sort of traumatic brain injury or possible traumatic brain injury, and had some sort of note in his pocket where he wanted the NFL to study his brain. He blamed them for his CTE, and that was sort of the impetus for this whole thing. Is there anything else in there, Grant, that you've heard or seen? I know it's a very, fluid situation.
I think that's the gist of it. My first question was whether or not he actually played in the NFL, and it seems like he didn't, but he had played football, and that's what the history of his injury had. But again, this seems to track with, others who have had real mental health issues because of CTE, and it's something that can lead folks to becoming very erratic and very violent. So it definitely fits. The NFL, I don't know what they do about this. Do they put out a statement? Do they do? I know Roger Goodell put out some sort of memo, And the NFL employee who was struck was like making calls from the ambulance, letting folks back at headquarters know what was going on. I just don't know how you proceed with a story like this.
What's and I don't know what their security situation is there, but you're talking about a rather large building that's got a lot of rich people working inside of it. You have to assume there's some kind of security up front, maybe guys with guns, and this guy was still able to get into the building.
Well, he walked right in.
Right, and shoot and kill several people before taking his own life. So, we'll obviously find more information over the next couple of days. In weeks as this situation continues to unfold. But let's get back to actual sports, Grant. And your Brewers got a nice win over the Cubbies. They're now in sole possession of first place. They got 2 more against Chicago before they continue with their season. Where are we? What are you thinking about the Brewers right now? Obviously, they're doing very well. Mizorowski a little shaky last night. Took one off the knee. Is that correct? Is there any sort of residual from that?
Not that we've heard. I think the Brewers, after the All-Star break, have come back down to earth a little bit. They, up until last night, they were 500 out of the All-Star break, or 500 within their last 2 series between the Mariners and then the Marlins over the weekend. 2 of 3, and then they lost 1 of 3 at home over the weekend. They salvaged on Sunday. Yelich is starting really slowly in the second half, although that home run last night hopefully helps. Contreras with that broken hand just looks really, really inept right now. But last night was an awesome win. And I was watching Mizorowski in that first inning where he was just struggling. And he wasn't throwing bad, right? He gave up a walk. He lost it at bat to Seiya Suzuki. He probably should have struck him out. A missed third strike call. Ground ball off his calf that went into foul territory. And then a routine grounder he threw over the first baseman's head. So it's 3-0. And I'm sitting here thinking, watch, he's going to come back out and he's going to go, 3 or 4 more great innings. And everyone's going to just completely praise him after the game. Because sometimes that's, especially with younger players, it's not their best starts that catch the eye of the manager or the teammates. Sometimes it's the nights where you don't have your best stuff. Quinn Priester went through this, funny enough, against the Cubs earlier this year. We had a rough first inning, and then he battled to eat 5 more innings. So last night, Mizorowski having just about as nightmarish of a first inning as possible and then settling back in. I think he retired the last 10 he faced, giving his offense a time to rally, and they did, and they hit home runs for the first time in a while. That's about as satisfying a win as you can get in the most important spot, right? A tied division with your ballpark sold out between Brewers and Cubs fans. Last night was that was one of the better Brewer games of the year. I've never gone from absolutely furious to very, very happy in a span of 2 hours like that before.
Wild emotion swings for Grant Bills. So,
yes.
Do we see them continuing? Are we gonna see them in first place, the NL Central champs, or are we gonna see them fall apart, or what are you expecting here?
I don't know if they'll fall apart. There's a likelihood that the Brewers slow down and cool off from where they've been the last 2 months, and the Cubs just heat up a little bit, which I think would lead the Cubs to winning the division. And I don't know, it might be like the Cubs win 92 games and the Brewers win 90. I think both of these teams are really, really good. The thing is with the Cubs, Kyle Tucker, who is supposed to be their superstar this year, has been ice cold for the last month. Seiya Suzuki has cooled down from where he was early in the season. Michael Busch, too. And Pete Crow Armstrong is awesome, but he can't be the only guy that they have. And last night, I think the Brewers got away with a couple of mistakes to him. Mizorowski struck him out, fell down to one knee in one of those strikeouts. So some good and some bad moments. That's kind of the PCA experience. I think the Brewers' pitching staff is much more stable. And up until this point, shockingly enough, their offense has been more stable. But the Cubs have a higher ceiling. It's whether or not they actually get close to that ceiling and play up to that ceiling the rest of the year that I think is going to decide who wins this division. At this point, I think both teams are going to make the playoffs, though.
The trade deadline is this week. It's on Thursday. Do you see the Brewers making any sort of serious moves, or are they just going to maybe make a couple of these ho-hum, we don't really care moves?
Well, last night they acquired Danny Jansen, who's a catcher from the Rays. Appleton kid, interestingly enough, who does a lot of things that they like, swings at the right pitches, doesn't swing and miss. He elevates the ball pretty well, so they probably think there's some power there, right? There's some underlying numbers that say he could have a better second half than first half. We'll see. But that's, I think, just to get some William Contreras insulation, because he's been playing way too much, and he's hurt, and he's not playing particularly well. At least he's not swinging the bat very well. So that makes sense. I think that move would lead to some others. I think they need a bullpen arm. Most teams contending do. And I think they need another bat. I think they need a bat that hits home runs. I know they hit 3 of them last night in back-to-back innings. But this is a team that just doesn't have a lot of slug. And if you look at teams that win in the playoffs, they're usually top 5, almost always top 10 in slugging and in home runs. And this Brewers team just doesn't have that much pop. So I think they need those things. with the Brewers, it always comes down to what the price is. And if it makes sense for the Brewers, they'll be in on anybody. The Brewers will truly be in on any available player if the price is right. It just matters who else is in and what they're asking. The Brewers do have a lot of pitching to trade, though, and there are teams looking for pitching, so that makes sense, and that might line up for the Brewers in a way that maybe it hasn't the last couple of years.
Also on Thursday, the NFL preseason sort of kicks off with the Hall of Fame game. Are you looking forward to that? Do you care about it? Do you watch it? Is it a must-watch for Grant because he talks sports in the afternoon, or is that something you just sort of check in on the next day?
By his noise.
I think 99% of people, I'm with Eugene, have the same experience with that first preseason game. Football's back on tonight. They're talking about it at work. They're fired up. And then they get home and they turn it on and they're like, yes, how great is this? It just feels great to have football back on the TV. And then they watch like 10 plays and they're like, okay, yeah, that's right. Preseason football absolutely sucks. And it is football, and it's always good to have football back, but that's not something that I'm going to commit my whole night to. I'll probably watch a little bit and maybe see if there are any good sound bites or any stories for the radio show. But then I'll probably watch baseball. That'll probably be what I do Thursday.
Packers have 3 preseason games. 2 of them are at home, Jets, Colts, and Seattle. Are you looking forward to anything in those games? Obviously, as you mentioned, the preseason doesn't really mean as much anymore. You might see some starters out there in the first half of the first couple of games, and then a bunch of scrubs who are going to be on the practice squad in that third game. Is there anything you're taking away from the Packers preseason games, or are you more interested in practice?
Well, there's always something to take away from preseason games of your own team, right? Because I think a lot of Packers fans are curious about that late round draft pick or that undrafted guy in camp or that second year player who's playing a lot. Like there are points of interest for your team in a preseason game. I just don't want to watch other teams. So I'll absolutely watch the preseason. There's storylines and there's data points to talk about on the radio show. I also just love preseason football because I can hear Wayne Larrivee and Larry McCarron on my radio. Or, right, even better, I can turn on my local television channels with my antenna and get like the Packers preseason broadcast where they're wearing the polos and it looks sunny and warm at Lambeau. Like it is aesthetically, and you can make fun of me for this, aesthetically it's a very pleasing, I do enjoy just consuming Packers preseason football. It just looks and sounds a little bit different, and it is kind of fun. And then, of course, you watch for the young guys and the draft picks, too.
For that? That's not me. I'm not making fun of you for that.
You're not going to make fun of me for it. I do question with Simpson. But you know kind of what I'm talking about? Like, there's just kind of this sense or this vibe that you get from preseason. It's on my local cable channel. I'm using my antenna, right? It's sunny and warm looking at Lambeau. I don't know. There's just something about it that I like.
Dude, I tune into a Boston Sports Talk show every day on my phone on an app. Who am I to question how much you love your Packers? I get it, dude. I understand. You want to immerse yourself.
Packers,
you want to immerse yourself in that. Grant Bills, host of the Wisco Sports Show, joining us each and every Tuesday at about 8:15. You can hear his show weekday afternoons from 4 until 6 on stations across the state like WKTY in La Crosse and Sports Talk 105.1 in Eau Claire. One question that is not sports related. Gene, who, as you mentioned, just went on vacation, is back from Key West. There was a clothing optional bar that Jean had mentioned previous to her vacation, said she might want to check it out. Some people had told her about it. I asked her earlier this morning. She said she did not go. Apparently, husband didn't want to join her, and she wasn't going to go up there alone. Grant, if you are in a town like Key West or wherever, and it's a clothing optional bar, are you going up there to check out the scene, or are you just not into that?
Do I have to hang hose, or can I just go and check it out?
Just check it out. It was see, that was my deal. I wasn't going to partake, but I've never been to a clothing optional bar before, right? So I was like, are you sure? I couldn't talk my husband into going up there for just one. Let's go up there. It's one. We'll look around. And he was like, it's bad naked. We can't do bad naked. I'm like, sure, we can look at bad naked, right? Like, have you ever had that opportunity? I've never had that opportunity.
No, I've never been to a nude beach. I have been to a gentleman's club or two on special occasions, but those are clubs and those are folks who are designed to be, presentable to the eye of the other patrons.
Well, and they're presenting themselves to you. You're not taking your clothes off at a strip club, at least not unless you want to get arrested.
No, I would not do that. I'm just looking. It costs too much to do anything else. I don't have those kind of funds. The thing that concerns me about this, and it doesn't seem to concern you, Gene, so I think we're just on different planes here. I just can't expect the patrons of a bar like that. I listen to enough Jimmy Buffett, and I've been to enough Jimmy Buffett concerts, and I've seen enough Jimmy Buffett concert videos to kind of understand maybe the clientele. I don't know that I want to see that, but it doesn't sound like you're concerned about that. You just want the spectacle of it all.
Yeah, my husband was like you. He was like, I don't have any interest in seeing what's going to be there on display. And I'm like, I'm not doing it because I'm going to enjoy it. I'm doing it because when else are you going to have an opportunity like that? To be at an actual bar that's serving drinks, and some people have clothes and some don't. Sounds kind of crazy.
Are the employees clothed, or are they also?
No, they are clothed.
Okay.
Sandy wipes is the only thing I kept thinking about. Like, you're not sitting. You're gonna lean. You're leaning. You know what I mean? You're not sitting. You're not. You know, you're leaning. You're patio.
You're leaning, and you want that fresh ocean breeze to reach all the corners.
Well, it was an open air. It was open air. It's not. It wasn't like real sweaty locker room kind of thing. I guess. I don't know. I didn't go. I was on the rooftop. I didn't go.
Well, I was up in a bar in Hayward, surrounded by musky fishermen and 90 degrees in a place without air conditioning. So I kind of wish that I was not clothed. That now everybody else in the bar, I was fine with their clothes, but I could have gone for some.
I like how Grant referred to it as hanging hose.
I did hear that.
A little subtle tip of the cap to the ladies out there that Grant's hanging hose. Captain Fire Pit over here.
I will also let you know, this has nothing to do with the naked bar that I did not go to, but I know that you're one heck of a fisherman. You enjoy fishing in streams and rivers and lakes and all of those things. I hand-fed a tarpon, a little fish.
So I saw this video, Gene. It's funny, in the fly fishing world, catching a tarpon in saltwater is like that's the
it's
thing.
A big deal.
Huge, and they fight. I would love to watch someone else do it. There is a point for me where you know what, that fish is too big. I don't need to prove it. I have nothing to prove. It's like running a marathon. I'll run a half marathon. I'll run a 5K. 26, I don't need to prove to anyone that I can run 26 miles, least of all myself. Those tarpon, they're the size of an alligator, and they jump 6 feet out of the water, and I'm supposed to catch it on a little flimsy fry. Those people are insane. So I would do what you did, just observe at the dock, hand feed it. That's very cool. I have nothing to prove to anyone trying to catch one of those things on the end of a fishing line.
Understood.
My God.
I get it.
Grant Bills, host of the Wisco Sports Show, here on weekday afternoons from 4 until 6 on stations like WKTY on La Crosse and Sports Talk 105.1 in Eau Claire. Always a pleasure, sir. Have a great rest of your week. We'll talk to you next Tuesday.
Yes, both of you as well. Welcome back, Gene. Nice to chat as always.
There he is, the one and only. Hanging hose.
That's what he said. You hanging hose?
Yeah. We would not refer to it as that. We'd say hanging dong.
Would not, but I appreciate that. It's Grant Bills.
Bad news, happy music is coming up in just a bit.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. More from Brian and Gene is coming up.
You're about to enter a beautiful, exciting, wonderful new world.
A cockroach living in your nostril. Now that's just nasty. Add in some haven't pooped for 30 days.
Poop is raining from the ceilings. Poop.
And sprinkle in some hashtag Florida Man for flavor.
Florida Man.
Florida Man.
Florida Man. Florida Man. Florida Man.
Florida Man.
Florida Man quits his Burger King job, steals all of their chicken nuggets.
It's bad news.
Bad news.
With happy music.
Let's rock.
Hashtag Florida Man. Might as well kick things off with the hashtag Florida Man.
I think they act so crazy because it's so effing hot down there.
Yeah. The heat gets to him.
He might get to him.
A man in Florida named Jason Hughes arrested after he assaulted another golfer on a golf course because the guy was playing too slow.
If you're out here trying to be aggressive, you picked the absolute wrong game to choose. You should go do like jiu-jitsu or kung fu or something.
There's no need to be fighting out here. You could easily call the shop. Somebody will come out and speak to the person or whatever the case, but it should never turn to violence.
Some of the other golfers that were on the course that day commenting about the attack. Jason told the man several times to pick up the pace. Then he lost it when he saw the other man talking to his friend while ahead on the green. He approached the guy, attacked him, repeatedly punched him in the face. The players' partners separated them. Then the attacker and his partner sped off in their golf cart before the cops got there. Victim in the hospital, treated for a broken bone beneath his eye socket, so he had an orbital fracture, and he had some stitches on his cheek. Jason was eventually tracked down and charged with aggravated battery causing bodily harm. He was released on bond on one condition, and one condition alone. You can't play golf anymore, bro.
This summer, forget the PGA. Welcome to the UFG, Ultimate Fighting Golf, where birdies turn into black eyes. And slow play doesn't mean swinging clubs. It means swinging fists. Tee off with Florida's finest as they drive, chip, and chokehold their way to the green. Warning, may include cart flipping and jousting with putters. UFG, because par is for the weak. Sundays after church, bring your own mouth guard.
Be aggressive. Be aggressive.
One condition of his bond is that he cannot play golf on any course that is open to the public. You obviously cannot handle the game of golf
with other people.
And somebody's slow playing you.
Golf clap. Golf clap.
I don't know, man. It's hot. Can we move this
Florida
along?
Man.
Can you standing here in the hot heat?
There's a guy in Canada who wants some answers after he says his rental car that he rented through a service called Turo, T-U-R-O.
Yep.
Went sideways back in February, not the car, but the rental
experience.
The experience went sideways when traces of fentanyl were found inside the car.
Shocking, and it literally flipped my life over. Well, I have nothing to hide. Go for it. And so, long story short, they found fentanyl. Dogs went in. They went into my business. They went into every nook and cranny of my life, as well as the passenger's life, thinking that we were drug dealers or drug smugglers. They made the conclusive understanding based on that residue that it was from somebody before us. Me and the passenger were like in disbelief of like, this is nuts.
Turo is like Airbnb for cars. It's a peer-to-peer sharing.
Yes.
And there's like 350,000 people or vehicles out there with over a million people.
We've looked into it before. So it's like we need a minivan, and then they have one. They'll drop one off at the airport, and you drive it around for a week, and you leave it.
This guy's name is Christian Rise. He lives in Calgary. He rented the vehicle for the day to go and pick up his friend in Montana and then drive back to Calgary, crossing the border, obviously, a couple of times. Crossing the U.S. border, no trouble, but returning back to Canada was a big trouble. It says the Canada Border Services Agency officers asked to search the rental vehicle that he and his passenger were in. I was like, well, I've got nothing to hide, so go for it. Long story short, they found fentanyl on the steering wheel and in the back seat.
Yo.
After finding remnants of the fentanyl, the officers took everything out of the vehicle, sent the dogs in.
Yeah, not my car, dude.
Went into my business. Went into every nook and cranny of my life, as well as my passenger's life, thinking that we were drug dealers or drug smugglers. Said the search took 3 hours, was traumatizing, triggered his PTSD. Said the officers found about 2 milligrams of fentanyl, made the conclusive understanding that based on the residue that it was from somebody else before us, or somebody before us was connected to Turo who was driving that car that dropped it off.
Yes.
Me and the passenger in disbelief.
Well, I don't know how in disbelief. I mean, you're in disbelief that experience has happened to you, but I'm not so in disbelief that I can't wrap my brain around the fact that it might have been someone else that used the same vehicle.
This guy apparently is filing a Freedom of Information request to retrieve documents to show that his rented vehicle was searched. Despite this, Turo disputes his claims about the drug, saying to the news station up there that allegations regarding the presence of fentanyl in the vehicle are not supported by the records available to Turo.
Well,
the San Francisco-based company restricting the use of the vehicle. Rise says, to his surprise, it was relisted the very next day. Fentanyl or not, we got to get this car on the road.
Well, they removed the fentanyl, did they not? I don't know. I don't know how in disbelief. You would be like, I can't believe this is happening to me. But if I rented a VRBO and they said, hey, before you, there was something weird that happened here, I wouldn't be like, that's impossible. That's impossible that something ever went weird at this place before I ever got it. I mean, that's terrible experience to go through, but not like I can't possibly understand how it could happen.
Have you seen the monster truck tire?
I don't know. I did see just recently in town driving around, like an El Camino.
Okay.
Like an old El Camino.
With big old monster truck tires
that was on a monster truck chassis with monster truck tires driving down the road. I thought that was an interesting look. But I did not
see the video.
no.
Well, if you want to give it a Google, you can. A monster truck event, a massive tire flying off of the truck, bouncing out of the arena and into onto a car in the parking lot, and absolutely crushed this SOB.
Oh my! Oh no! Holy crap! Oh my God! No way! Someone's car just got. Oh my God! Oh my God! I hope no one's car is messed up.
Caught on camera moment from a monster truck event in Washington State. The tire flying off one of the vehicles into the parking lot at arena in Bremerton. Spectators enjoying some monster truck mayhem, probably only sitting on the edge of their seats. As the truck came down after an impressive aerial stunt, the huge wheel broke loose, went right over the venue's wall into the parking lot. The wheel did not injure anybody, but it did strike some trees and somebody's vehicle, and it completely demolished it. There's a photo on Facebook of this thing. Look at that thing. Oh, man, it got waxed.
Well, they're very lucky it didn't hurt anybody, obviously, that was walking through the parking lot.
The event organizers later posting a statement about the incident saying multiple cars were damaged and they were taking steps to reduce similar risks. We will always do everything we can to help further the safety of this great sport we all love. Yeah, you're going to buy that guy a new car is what you're going to do, right? It's got to be some insurance.
Looks like it
that.
ran almost up a ramp. That it was like it went like a skateboarder. It just
if you haven't seen it, it's pretty wild. Pretty wild.
Flew in there. Oh no, there goes the tire.
A woman in Massachusetts, frightening encounter over the weekend, attacked by a raccoon. Catherine Van Buskirk says she occasionally sees raccoons in her neighborhood, but never came face to face with one. And boy, did it come face to face with her. You got to look at her face in the interview on TV. She's got some big, giant gashes on the side of her face. That thing got a hold of her. It really did. Longtime Somerville native, letting her dogs out, Ruby and Blue, into the garden around 1 a.m. Raccoon suddenly jumped at her face while she was on the deck. It flew at me from several different directions.
They become monsters. It flew at me from several different directions.
Yeah.
All I could do was scream, help me, help me. This is a nightmare. I kept saying it to myself because I couldn't find any other words. I just encountered a monster.
Raccoon clawing at her face, scratching her arms, gnawed her hands and legs while she desperately tried to fight it off. Where are your dogs?
No kidding.
Why aren't they attacking?
Help.
At the time, she was able to fight it off. However, it charged back at her even more aggressively this time around. She was somehow able to escape and close the door. Covered in her own blood, she called 911. Given rabies shots and antibiotics at a nearby hospital. Biggest concern was for her dog, Ruby, who had not been seen since the attack. Apparently, Ruby ran off. Ruby was eventually found later that morning cowering behind the TV set. I guess Ruby made her way back into the house, but...
Is it rabid? Did they think it's rabid?
Well, they gave her the rabies shots.
Yeah.
She said that the day after, she was spreading coyote urine across her garden to help keep the raccoons away.
Anything I can do to keep that.
Said she believes the raccoon was feeding from her compost bin on the deck. Recommended to others to take extra precaution.
Dude,
Said she'll have to take medication daily for the foreseeable future, but is expected to make a full recovery. Yeah.
She's all scratched up.
Oh, she is, yeah. Right there on her face.
Teeth little old lady, too.
Those raccoons will get you. Middle of the night, you're just letting your dogs out, 1 a.m., thinking everything's okay, and all of a sudden some crazy-ass raccoon comes charging out of nowhere.
I told you the story. We didn't get attacked, thank God, but when we were Black River Falls camping in a tent, this was years ago when my husband and I were, but this was pre-children. That tells you how long
when you
ago
could be
it was.
in a tent?
Yeah. And we had at the time, we had a husky named Kiki. And so it was me and my husband and Kiki in the tent. And in the middle of the night, we hear something and she's going nuts, right? So I unzip the tent and I look out with a flashlight. And there are no less than 10 raccoon in our campsite area. Like I flash the flashlight over and it's like do. And the dog's going nuts, right? And we grabbed her, pulled her back, and just zipped the tent. At that point, nobody's going out there. Nope. Kiki's not going out there. I'm not going out there. He's not going out there. We're just going to wait it out in the tent till morning. No way.
Bad news with happy music. Last one. I love this. I love this so much. I live for these kind of stories.
Is this a hardworking woman?
The California Department of Transportation has now launched an investigation into a retirement party that was during work hours that allegedly involved booze and a stripper.
I'm in love with a stripper. She poppin', she rollin', she rollin'.
So someone that works for the Department of Transportation was retiring?
10 of the employees involved have been fired. Several others have been suspended. No name on the stripper as of yet. A Caltrans retirement party during work hours allegedly involving booze and a stripper has resulted in 12 of their employees being put on leave and the Caltrans organization launching a full investigation.
Were we wrong to do that?
2 people receiving suspension notices, 10 of them getting fired.
Oh, wow.
The retirement party held at the Monterey Caltrans yard, so it was in the work yard there at the DOT. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. You gotta love the guy who's retiring, too. He's like, what the hell do I care, man? I'm out. Deuces. According to an email that was sent, it involved open consumption of alcohol, the presence of a hired stripper, and employees participating while on the clock and being paid with taxpayer dollars. I got to be honest, I'm usually very upset about government stuff, but this one I'd let this slide. I'd be like, hey, you know what, man? Whatever. Not an everyday thing, not once a week, but you know what? Once in a while.
Yeah, but Bruce is retiring and he spent his whole life in the DOT, so maybe not at work.
A confidential source said employees were throwing money at the stripper. Duh. It's not like they had a stage there that they built. It's not like they could put $1 up on Sniffer's Row for her.
Sounds like she was just in the yard.
Just, here you go.
By the trucks.
Midday, too. Probably broad daylight. Just out there, bad lighting. Oh, man. Caltrans takes these allegations with the utmost seriousness and is unwavering in holding those involved accountable.
Yeah, that was probably a bad call during business hours in the yard, huh?
The event was interrupted by another supervisor who arrived unexpectedly and witnessed the situation firsthand.
Very unexpectedly.
Everyone returned to work as if nothing had happened. Oh, man. I love it.
Nothing to see here.
I love it.
We got to go back to work.
I love it. There's got to be pictures of this and video of this floating around somewhere on the interwebs. That's great. Hell yeah.
We were just taking an hour on his last Friday. That's all it was.
I love it.
It was just an hour. And it was the afternoon of his last Friday. That was it. And it was fine until you meddling managers showed up.
Talk about the no fun league. Got to work for the California
10
Department
people
of,
lost their jobs.
You got to work for the. First of all, you got to live in that horrible state full of those horrible people. And you have to live with all the crap that they have to go through in California.
Oh, man.
And you're working for the government, the DOT. Thankless job.
Maybe just
trying to cut a
after
little bit
hours
loose.
somewhere else. Just not during...
Company dime.
Oh, Bruce's retirement party was a...
All-timer, though.
It was a banger, man. 10 of us lost our jobs.
Never going to forget that story. Never. Never, ever, ever. Going to tell that at my kid's wedding.
I'm really sorry you guys all lost your jobs.
Bad news. That'll be fine. Whatever. Bad news, happy music on Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. We'll get to our daily check-ins after beer.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com. Call.
Hello.
Email.
I tried emailing you.
Text. So many ways to check in with us. Check. We rely on you guys for traffic updates, requests, and all sorts of other stuff.
Check this out.
Rockmornings.com is the website. Head there for all of our contact info. You can get in touch with us via email, Facebook messages. You can text us. You can
send us pictures of your tree that got damaged last night in the storm. Heard a lot about that this morning.
Download the 95.7 The Rock app or the 92.9 The X app and send us pictures and videos or voicemails through the app. All sorts of different ways to get in touch with us. Got a text message earlier talking about the age in which people should be able to drive or drink or do all sorts of different things. Somebody texted in and said you shouldn't be able to vote till you're 21. I disagree with that. I think that if you're 18 and you're considered an adult and you can go off and fight in a war for our country, then you should have the right to vote. for who leads
Yeah,
our
there was
country.
kind of split numbers on all of that stuff.
Hashtag not Jeff texted me, said bars open when we were talking about the movie Cocktail.
Oh, got it.
Tom Cruise. Bars open. And Darcy texted in earlier, said, could you, did Gene go to the clothing optional bar upstairs, third floor? Darcy.
I did not.
You did not. You
did
let us
not.
all down. You had a chance.
I wanted to, but my
all right, let me ask you a
better
question.
half was not about it.
Let's say he's agreeing to this excursion, right? Mm-hmm. You guys are probably not going to go topless or bottomless or naked.
That's not.
Are you going to go
happen.
in like swim trunks to like sort of be about the
No.
vibe?
No.
You're going fully clothed.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, if that's an option and they tell you that it's an option, then I'm just going to go in.
So you're
going to
be the weird people up there.
Yeah,
You're going to be the
I'd
Amish
weird.
people up there.
Which is why I think my husband didn't want to do it. He didn't want any part of that.
See, I think if like you went up there and you just had like a bikini on with like a wrap or whatever, then you sort of kind of fit in and like you can like people wouldn't be so judgy. Like if you went up there fully clothed, head to toe, people would be like, oh, look at these people coming up here. And they'd probably get off on it. Some of them would, you know what I mean? But they'd be like, oh, these people are just up here to catch a peek of what's going on.
Well, hell yeah.
As opposed to being a part of the vibe.
I'm not going to be a part of the vibe. You said I don't have to. It's optional.
I didn't say you had
and
to.
don't tell me they aren't taking their clothes off in hopes that other people are
Oh,
coming
I know
up
they
there.
ain't coming up there to get a peek of the
Yeah,
goods.
Exactly.
As
So
Grant would say, hanging hose.
That's what I would be wearing whatever else I was wearing to be going to the other places.
Multiple layers?
Yes, probably. Well, no, because it's hot as hell there. You know, a pair of shorts and a tank top. Same thing I wear to every place I went, basically.
What would it take for you to get to the point that the tank top came off?
It would not happen. It would
At the nudie bar.
1,000% positive that would never
How
happen.
many daiquiris?
Nope, not happening.
Gene's like, you know what? I'm kind of digging this vibe.
No, not
Here
digging
comes
this
the tank
vibe.
top.
Absolutely not.
Hey, Mike, get a load of this.
Nope. 0%
can do.
chance that would happen.
No? You're not going to participate in the shenanigans?
No.
Not
And
gonna-
I don't think we need. My point wasn't even to like hang out there. It was more to just like.
Have a drink, see what it's about, and then keep that.
Yep. Like,
forever.
so I could say that I had done
Right.
that.
Check that
Not
one off
like,
the list.
Yeah. But no, we didn't.
Well,
I know.
you really let
I
everyone
know.
down. People were very excited to hear a crazy story. I will tell you that if I go to Key West or someplace
Yeah.
and I know I have to know about it. I'm not going to be searching for the clothing optional bar when I go somewhere. But if I hear about
Right.
it,
The information came to you.
like if I'm talking about a trip that we're going on, like Nashville, for instance, to which everyone knew I was going to Nashville to see Metallica, and somebody said, hey, there's a clothing optional bar, you should check it out. I would go check it out. I wouldn't hang hose or dong, but I'd check it out.
Right, like one and done, in and out.
Yeah.
So I could say I did that. That's kind of what. But I wasn't going to do it by myself because that's super weird.
Yeah, hi, I'm Gene.
Hi, I'm just here to get a
Fully clothed and ready to have a daiquiri.
just by myself with you guys.
I am
and
unspoken
gals.
for. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. We'll talk to you tomorrow.